John Fetterman, a current sitting senator in the United States of America, just told Jon Stewart that Israel is his red line. Not the United States, not issues that are plaguing the United States, but Israel. And Jon Stewart does not let him get away with it. As usual, let's watch the clip in full. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts, commentary, perspective towards the end. Let's get into it.
Is the votes and what's behind that. And what's really set me apart of most of the Democratic Party is Israel. And that's fair. It criticized John Fetterman on Israel without a doubt, 100%. So that's been primarily, and that's been driving our party.
So for you, you could agree with them 90%, but Israel is the red line.
Absolutely. Israel for me, like I can't ever turn my back to Israel after where it's at.
So, and I mean no disrespect on this, but that is not our country. You're saying that these candidates may have great ideas for our economy. They may want to do the exact same thing you want to do in terms of getting money out of politics. They may want to increase the social safety net. They may want to change the balance of power from capital back to labor. But if they don't agree with you on Israel, you don't want them in your party.
Well, I don't know who you're referencing to specifically.
No, I'm referencing what you just said.
Name one. Flattener?
So in other words, Syed or AOC or Bernie Sanders, I assume you agree with a lot of what they say economically.
And what I'm saying is, like, if you are a DSA member, if you are a member of a specific political party, run under your own banner. And now I think Bill Maher said something very insightful. He said, you know, the DSA are colonizing the Democratic Party. So just be Democrats if you're going to run under the Democratic Party for that. Why have a DSA party for overall? So run on that, and you all understand.
It's just an organization. It's not, we have a two-party system. It's like the Freedom Caucus in the Republican Party. There's Randy Fine and Ogles and all these nutbags that are also part of an area, and Republicans, I'm sure, may not agree with all of them on all kinds of things, but there is no other party. Well, I guess you could try it, but my point is, if you don't disagree with them on a lot of things, why not use some of that energy? And even like Mamdani in New York is DSA, but there are things in the DSA platform that he disagrees with. And I'm assuming there's probably things in the Democratic platform that you might disagree with, but you don't disavow the entire thing. You're literally saying we can all have discussions, except when it comes to Israel, which is not America. It seems like a weird line to draw.
Well, I don't think that's weird. I think what history demonstrates is that when people or a government or people turn their back to the Jewish community, things end really badly, and it's a dangerous.
Jewish community and Israel are not the same thing, brother man. They're not. That is not the same thing.
No. It's like, hey, it's like if I have to pick a side for after 10/7 and after Iran, you know, I'm always going to stand with Israel. I'm always going to vote and support whatever that's necessary to protect themselves and to prosecute Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran too. And the very left never said a peep after Iran executed 30 to 40,000 young people in there just for protesting for democracy.
You think that the left is pro Iran, not the country, but the regime?
What I'm saying though is, like, if anyone in the Democratic Party is fine with Iran building a nuclear bomb, I disagree with that person.
I think most people are, again, I think you're caricaturing the issue, but is there anything you would criticize Israel about?
No, what I would say is that I have not a single Democrat that's willing to go on record saying, I'm cool, it's okay if Iran builds a nuclear bomb. And I supported last summer bombing the Iranian nuclear facilities. I think that was a necessary and important thing, because Iran is becoming close to building a nuclear bomb, and that would transform.
I think the case was not made by this administration that Iran was close. Netanyahu's been claiming they're 2 weeks away for the last 20 years. But my point is, so would you say everything Israel is doing is for their own self-defense?
Just destroying its enemies. Yeah, that is destroying its enemies.
Or flattening a tiny area and pushing 2 million people into 30 to 35 to 40% of that territory and having a siege of that area. Is that in their self-defense?
No, what I'm saying, it's like people forget that Hamas were just rapists and they were terrorizing and killing civilians, and then they stole 250 people from their families, and they kept them
Sure.
underground and brutalized them and
Right.
raped them and starved them for over 2 years. And that's why they refused to give them back, and that's what forced Israel to engage in that Gaza war when they refused to send their people.
And there is nothing in the prosecution of that war that gives you pause.
What do you mean?
The killing of tens of thousands of children.
Absolutely awful. Absolutely. Because Hamas has embedded themselves, behind these people and using the Palestinians as human shields. Sinwar described the death of innocent Palestinians as a necessary sacrifice. That's how Hamas has designed that.
There are people in Netanyahu's cabinet who have said they would like to nuke the Palestinians, not Hamas, the Palestinians. I guess what I'm trying to get at is, I don't understand why we can't criticize even someone that you think is an ally for actions that we deem to be morally reprehensible. Like, I don't understand how you can defend the settlements in the West Bank. Like, I don't understand how you have no criticisms over their actions, over their increasingly messianic, ultra right-wing government that seems to think relentless war is that you can bomb people out of resistance. Have you ever seen a movie called Gatekeepers? It's people that have been in Shin Bet and ran the army in Israel. And they're talking about how the strategy that Israel has of disproportionate retaliation, even though they are by far the most powerful force in that region, is not a path to keep Israel safe.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave that there. I'll leave a link in the description so you can go and check out the full podcast. And I literally encourage you to check it out. It's very insightful and very interesting. But look, I don't like using this term because Donald Trump uses it a lot. And it really frustrates me when he uses it because he usually uses it towards everyone, but he'll a lot of the time use it towards, people of color or women. John Fetterman is very low IQ. This podcast proved to me that John Fetterman is extremely low IQ. America, how did you elect this individual? The basic conversation that Jon Stewart is trying to have with him, the constant looking in the air, looking confused, visibly perplexed about the questions that he's being asked, is absolutely ridiculous. Now, the fact that the only non-negotiable an American politician has is a foreign country, that is disqualifying in of itself. That is completely disqualifying. Now, he was asked to name one criticism of Israel, one, and a current sitting senator couldn't do it. That's not a policy position sort of thing. That's pretty much like a hostage statement. He doesn't want to say one negative thing about Israel and how they've conducted themselves within Gaza, within Iran, within southern Lebanon. Like, that speaks volumes. And the fact that his focus and his priority isn't the United States. If you take a look at all of the DSA members that have been running, they haven't said things like they wish harm on Israel. All they've said is that all the billions of dollars that America are sending to Israel, they would just rather that money stay within their communities, as well as the United States not aiding and abetting Israel in committing a genocide. And the reality is, that's just common sense thinking. But the fact that Fetterman, his main focus and his sole focus, and that's the reason as to why next time he's up for re-election, he will lose, because he's so unpopular with the Democratic base. But the fact that that's his red line, and he's not paying attention to what the actual base wants, this is someone, to me, who is clearly, visibly unwell. He has to be, because there's no thought process going into things here. I've even heard Republicans say that they do have criticisms of the way that it is that Israel, Netanyahu, are dealing with Gaza, with southern Lebanon. But a Democratic senator said he cannot find one criticism of Israel in how it is that they've dealt with this war. This is a major problem in of itself. A purple state senator is more worried about defending Netanyahu and Israel than defending the base that elected him and put him where he is. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Hype up the video and hit the subscribe button. We're less than 9,000 subscribers away from 100,000 subscribers. We need your help to get us there. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.